God and flavours of the divine. So how do we know which one's right? Well, first of all, right and wrong's duality and indicating duality in the mind, but the right and left side of the nervous system in the body is imbalanced. So it's not really one. As long as, in my view, as long as someone has some sort of belief system, which I'm not even a big fan of any belief system, but it's a limitation. And there's simply disconnections in the body for not being a complete human, which is not easy to achieve. We're all working on that. But hey, in the West we know one God, and basically that's a belief system that's been controlled by the Roman Catholic Church. And the Roman Catholic Church is just there for, it's an evolution of the Roman Empire. You have a look at the Pontifex Maximus, is the official title of the Pope still, and it's the same title as the Holy Roman Emperor. So that's essentially just a form of method of control. But essentially whatever provides solace for you and is helpful for you, but not holding on to and attaching to it as we grow, is beneficial. So for the Christian people who believe in this God thing and it helps, great. Not a big fan of it myself. I grew up Christian Catholic schools, and my evolution was, okay, there's a God when I was a small child. That's what I was told. Couldn't think for myself as much. Still didn't like it. And then I went through atheist. Nah, I don't believe in anything else but me. Cool. Agnostic. Okay, there's something there. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Then I started exploring. Okay, then there's universal energy. And there's, first of all, the Hindu pantheon alone has 33,000 names for God. Alright, well, maybe it's up to individual choice. And worldwide in all the cultures across the planet, there's like hundreds of thousands of names for God. So essentially, if you want to worship a can of baked beans, or hey, you did as a teddy bear as a kid, right? As long as you're worshipping and loving something. But having said that, all of those are still external from ourselves. And we can use them as a reflection, which is absolutely beautiful and provides a lot of solace and help. But still, as an external entity, we're not really taking full responsibility for our own stuff internally, which is by far the most empowered option. So what I've got to now is currently merging with creation, because it's biggest I can perceive at this point. If there's something bigger, please let me know. I'd like to know, and I'll aim for it. I'll make sure I get there. And the whole arguing with my God's better than your God, well, that's just being controlled like puppets, basically. Because as Plato's cave teaches us, that if we're still chained up in a cave as a prisoner of our own delusional imbalances in our body and our own illusions of who we think we are, haven't found our soul, and we've got people behind us playing shadow puppets, essentially government matrix, mind controlling corporations, and especially religion, unless they're asking you questions and to get you to bring forth the illusions from yourself, then they're not really helping, they're more controlling. It's not all that helpful for individual empowerment and individual soul's development. So, flavours of the divine, well, in India I prefer the way they do it. It's like, you can believe in a cow. You can worship a cow if you want. Worship a can of baked beans. You can worship a golden calf. You can worship an elephant. You can worship a monkey. Up to you, as long as it helps you and it's accepting, because then it's much more heart-driven. But for those of us who want to expand and be the most of what we can do, choose creation. Because, and all of this belief system in gods and things, it's just a representation of the nervous system in the body and how expanded it is. So for people who haven't got to, say, vibrational energy or merging with the divine and self-empowered as they are the divine, well, in India, and especially their culture, children as young as 5 are taught that they are God, they are Shiva, they are Shakti. Because, as we know, God, or vibrational energy, is omnipotent and omnipresent. It's everywhere. So therefore it has to be within us. But in our Christian belief system, we're told that we're nothing, we're victims, we're at the mercy of a God figure or a priest or a government. That's a massive victim belief system that I've never really liked, because normally any fire or any confidence about themselves is going to say stuff off to that kind of thing. So how about we use that internal empowerment and use our practices to expand our nervous system so we can be a complete human, because the body is the universe, and the universal bodily template is the one we have to fix up, so then we can understand and feel and get the messages back from the universe. And I can tell you, it's absolutely wonderful, feeling much more complete human. And once I got my left and right side nervous systems connected up here, they fused up into Bindu point. And then I was always balanced. I don't lose my shit anywhere near as much as I used to, because my nervous system just allows those messages and the conversations with other people to just flow through quite comfortably. And I don't have to sit there and process like it used to do, and most people have to. So now it's a case of, after removing 130 meters of parasites, which are completely controlling an individual's belief system, and I mean, look at mass, you get wine. That's just feeding the parasites, because that's what alcohol does. And once you start to get rid of all of these, we start to be much more individually empowered, coming from our own sense of empowerment and what's coming through the universe through our body, instead of thinking that we're victims. And victim is just a lot of mucus plaque and a lot of density and heavy metals and gunk in the body, especially low down in the body, that the nervous system is disconnected from, so it doesn't realise. And that's what people call depression. But then they turn to God because they're desperately needing one, or they are unable to control their own lives and run their own bodies in a holistic and complete fashion, and they don't ask for help, or if they do, they find someone who doesn't really have a clue what they're doing, and then they're needy and they're desperate, and they hold on to that person or those people the whole time because they're unwilling to expand and move out of those chains that are in the cave, keeping themselves a complete prisoner. And they're always wondering why. Well, that's easy. Fix yourself, do some yoga, fix up the diet, fix up the nutrition, absolutely essential, and then we can become the pure gods and goddesses or Shivas and Shaktis that we actually are, and then start to realize our ultimate potential. Cool, huh?